going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Liza Quinn. On this channel, we check out some of our favorite artists, songs, performances, so we can learn from them and become inspired by them. And today we are checking out We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. Now, this is not a reaction, and I didn't label it as such because I did see the movie, but I, like many others, have had to go back, or at least have felt the need to go back and sort of re-review this music, go into the details. There are all these little Easter eggs and fun things. So basically, we're going to review why We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto is so brilliant. Let's get into it.
You didn't understand what he saw.
Then you better figure it out because it was coming for you.
Piano comes in.
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no. We don't talk
Love it.
about Bruno. But it was my wedding day.
It was our wedding
We were
day.
getting ready and there
He
wasn't
replies.
a cloud in the sky.
Clouds allowed in the sky.
Bruno walks in with a mischievous grin.
Thunder.
You're telling this story or am I?
I'm sorry, mi vida go wrong.
So right off the top, so many great things happening. But this is very cool because it comes in with this sort of filtered piano. So it's giving you this hint of like this tumbao, right? Of the gung-ga, gung-gung-da-da. And what I love is that he's able to sort of, in a short amount of time, tell you so much about the story. You know, obviously they're in love and they're a great couple, but they bicker like many of us do. And so it's funny because he sort of like, he keeps responding, sort of stepping on her, which is a great sort of call and answer thing as a structure of the song. But it also sort of sets up the character. So it's cute how she's like, who's telling the story? Is it you or me?
Sorry, mi vida go wrong.
Bruno
The
says
apology.
it looks like rain.
Why did he tell
In
us?
doing so, he floods my brain.
I will like the umbrella.
Married in a hurricane.
What a joy you stay, but anyway, we don't talk about Bruno.
Chorus.
No, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
It's really cute how the husband talks about it was still a joyous day anyway. I was having a good time. I was ready to party. So that's really a cute detail. This chorus when it comes in, right? Great melody with this climb down and the way the melody and the harmony are interweaving. G and the B. So he's doing Bruno, no, and she's no. So that's pretty cool. So this kind of rhythm is sort of what we would call like a son cha. Son would relate to the dance move that you would do, which is be accented up. So instead of certain salsa moves that accent back with a kick, you'd accent forward. And that little double time is where the cha-cha would land. So it's a mix of the two. You could dance it either way. So let's see how this groove evolves.
No, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno.
A big vibrato.
Grew to live in fear, Bruno stuttering or stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand.
So good.
Lived with a gift so humbling. Always left a brother in the family fumbling. Grappling with prophecies they couldn't understand.
There's a great moment happening here. And I hadn't noticed it before, but somebody told me to look out for it. And now I see it
Couldn't understand.
right here. Do you see Bruno there? That has to be Bruno, right? The little glowing eyes. And if you look, it looks like he's grooving.
Do you understand?
So that's really cool. I didn't notice that before. The other thing is the performance. So she's hearing this whisper and being able to execute that is really cool. This sort of like da 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 da. This is the rapid fire movement, and you have to have a great air control and this great agility to sort of just like sort of move through those notes.
I associate him with the sound of falling sand.
That's cool. So right there we have the tss, tss, gives the sense of a percussive instrument and also the sense of falling sand, which I think is really clever. It's a heavy lift with a gift so humbling. So she empathizes with what he's going through. Anybody would have had a hard time sort of carrying that load, that responsibility. And this movie deals with those themes a lot.
Understand?
This comes out powerful.
When he calls your name, it all fades to black. Yeah, he sees your dreams and his sound screams. We don't
Yes.
talk about Bruno, no. We don't talk about
Woo!
Bruno.
Let's talk about some of the vocal things that are happening here. And I'm sorry if I don't know the singers' names yet. When the shape-shifting family member comes in, listen to what he does here in the vocal performance.
Song is back when he calls your name.
Yes! Calls your name. So he adds a little fry in this. So good.
We don't talk
No. So good.
He told me my fish would die the next day.
Funny.
He told me I'd grow a gut, and just like he said,
Imagine that.
he said that all my hair would disappear. Now look at my hair. Your fate is sealed when your prophecy is read.
We've already had a couple different feels in this groove. They've layered some synth, some programmed drums so that it feels a little bit more hip-hop influenced. Depending on the feel of the character, it switches up the mood. So let's hear the top of this because her tone is so pretty.
He told me that the life of my dreams would be promised and someday be mine.
Gorgeous, the pizzicato strings.
He told me that my power would grow like the grapes that thrive on the vine.
I mean, what a pretty tone. And I love this. He told me, that sort of melody there with the pizzicato strings. Again, it's giving you space and a completely different feel when this character just descends from the ceiling. Chef's kiss. So good, so good.
He told me that the man of my dreams would
Now we have some string feel.
betrothed to another.
Kicks.
Hey,
Four on the floor, right? It's building.
I want not a sound out of you.
Now the parts are overlapping.
Bruno.
Oh.
Yeah, about that Bruno. I really need to know about Bruno. Give me the truth and
More
the whole
intense.
truth, Bruno.
Your boyfriend's here.
Time for the end.
This part right here feels very Lin-Manuel, right? This reminds me of In the Heights. It feels a little bit more musical theater. It gives it that little shift, and it sort of gets you ready to go into this part where we have all these overlapping melodies and all this cool stuff. The groove is already changing.
Out in the sky.
Interweaving. You heard that? She's like, you telling this story or am I? She comes back in here. They're still bickering back there.
What did you tell us? I'm gonna put the umbrella.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. So good.
Why did I talk about Bruno? I never said about Bruno.
Woo! This to me is one of the most well-written songs for a Disney musical that I have heard. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you thought of the movie. And tell me if you think we should check out some more of this music together. I absolutely loved doing this. If you guys want to watch more videos, they're going to pop up right here over my shoulder. And I appreciate you all so much as usual. I will see you next time.